Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Rabbi Abe here. So in this class I want to talk a little bit about the spiritual system because most people don't ask the right question. It's like the scientists. The universe began with a big bang. Yeah, but they don't ask the fundamental question. What's the fundamental question? Why? Why was there a big bang? In other words, what is the origin? They can take it back to, some very small nanosecond particle of time before this big explosion. Yeah, but where did it come from? Why? Well, Kabbalah answers that question. In this class, though, I want to get into the idea of astrology, reincarnation, and your karma, or what we call in Kabbalah tikkun, correction, because they're all connected. Many people look at their astrology and say, it's this and this date, and, this is what I can expect. And it's incorrect. It's very limiting. The truth is, and I've mentioned it before, Kabbalistically, meaning according to the wisdom of the Kabbalah, which is the very practical wisdom of life, the universe, our environment, everything, we don't follow astrology. But we must know about astrology. We must know. And I'll explain to you why. Because there's reincarnation. This is not the first time we're here. There are virtually no new souls coming to planet Earth for the first time. We need to understand why. So what is this reincarnation process? What does it have to do with astrology? What does it have to do with our correction or karma in life? What is karma? Did you ever ask yourself, what exactly is it? What goes around comes around. Yeah, but that maybe that's an idea, which might be part of it, but it's not that simple, okay? So let's just begin with the idea of how we connect these three ideas, astrology, reincarnation, and karma, all together, because they are really part of one unit of understanding of energy of us, of our soul. So we all have a soul. We don't necessarily know what a soul is, but we call it our vessel to receive. That's what it is. It's our ability to receive energy from the spiritual world. Call it God, call it the universe, call it whatever you want. Makes no difference. The force of creation is clearly a force. That force has characteristics, which we will talk about in our basic Kabbalah crash course, which is coming up very, very soon. If you want to know more, email me, okay? Email me, short plug. Email me at abe@rabbyabe.com, okay? abe@rabbyabe.com. Put crash course in the subject line, okay? It's going to be a 3-hour thing. Inexpensive, and everyone can join. Okay, but you need to ask the right questions. So what does karma have to do with this? We have a soul. Our soul is like a holder. It's a holder for energy. In other words, if you're happy, your soul is holding this energy. It's a vessel. It's a receptacle, a spiritual receptacle. Your ear isn't happy. Where do you feel happy? Ask yourself. Look in the mirror. Point to the place where you feel happy. Is it here? It's usually the answer that I get. I would say it's 75% here that people say, and maybe 25% here, or let's say 20% here, and 5% is like, oh yeah, I feel happy all over. All right. Okay. But clearly it's not a physical place. If you're pointing here, you don't mean, your physical heart, do you? And here, you don't mean your physical brain, do you? No. It's not really a physical place we pinpoint. It's an energetic vessel. We have energetic receptacles within us, like our desire. Desire is also not physical. Can I see your desire? Can I see how big it is? No, you can't. You may be able to understand it through what I do. If I say I want something, what am I really willing to do for it? So there are different things, different ways we might measure a desire, but we can't actually see a desire. We see the result. So it's the same way with spiritual energy. And spiritual energy is happiness, spiritual energy is love, spiritual energy is understanding, spiritual energy is security, spiritual energy is peace of mind, spiritual energy is all the things we want in our life that we can't hold in our hands. It's all energetic. It's all about energy. So This we understand through the Kabbalah. This is the godly force. God is not, oh, God, sitting on a big chair somewhere. No. The force of all fulfillment, this is what the Kabbalists call God, okay? It's the force that can fulfill through anything, okay? We have many, many things that fulfill us. So they are carriers. Money can be one. Another individual in a relationship is a carrier of fulfillment. What I do in my life is a carrier for, everything. My pen, I can love my pen. It's a carrier of some certain force of energy of fulfillment. If it fulfills a lack within us, it's carrying the energy. It's carrying the energy, no less, of God, creation, energy to me. We don't always have that energy. We don't always feel that energy. A big part of us does. We're running on that energy. Our heart beats, everything runs somehow, unconsciously. We're not going to get into that right now. But we feel lack. Often in our life, we feel lack. We feel issues and problems. This is missing. This is problematic. My relationship this is an issue. That's an issue. My work, I have my boss yelled at me. Whatever it is. They're all different forms of a lack. Where does lack come from? Where does it come from actually? In other words, all of us, have come here uniquely to do different things. Each one of us, we have different things to do. We have different things to accomplish that we must accomplish in this lifetime, which is why we're here. Why? It is the result of a past life. Result of a past life. So what do I mean it's a result of a past life? And I can only generalize in this class. But in the future, we may have a class or course of reincarnation, on its own, so we can really understand it thoroughly. But for argument's sake, let's say and let's assume, but it's a energetic fact, okay? I can't convince you that we've all had past lives. None of us are here for the first time. Virtually, there are no new souls in here now on planet Earth. There will be new souls eventually that will come down. Not yet. And since we've had previous lifetimes, if we're here now, it is an indication that we need to fix things from a previous life. So let me give you for instance, an example. Let's say I was disloyal in relationship, disloyal in friendship, disloyal, whatever. I cheated. Disloyal. How else can we say it? As one character flaw. And this disloyalty affected other people. I hurt people. I hurt my wife. I hurt my friends. I hurt my coworkers. I just left what I was doing without warning. I got a better offer. Whatever. I hurt people through my disloyalty. So the action word here is disloyalty. Now, I come here in another incarnation in order to correct this particular flaw of disloyalty. Now, what does that look like? That means there's a place in my life where I am being shielded. So let me give you the sequence here. There is energy, and again, I just can do it the best I can, here like this, spatially. All right? So just use your imagination. The universal energy force of all fulfillment is shining down, so to speak, like the sun. Like the sun shines, the force of fulfillment, the godly force, universal force, energy force, is endlessly shining down upon me. However, in between me and the force of all fulfillment, in other words, if I were receiving all fulfillment, I would never feel a lack, okay? Right? We feel different lack in our life. Why? Because there's part of that fulfillment which we're not feeling, simply. So if a person who's insecure, as another example, is missing the feeling of security, and they might come into this world as a Cancerian, because Cancerians, by their nature, lack the feeling of security. So they do all kinds of things in response. They hold on to things, right? Is one thing that they might do. They may hoard money because, difficult to let go of things because the one of the issues is a lack of security. So we become reactive to our lack. So I was using the idea of loyalty. So I may, may have been disloyal to people. Perhaps the payback might be that people will be disloyal to me and I will feel betrayed. So it's another way of feeling a certain lack that I'll be missing because that energy is blocked out. I need to react to it. I need to respond to it. I will react generally unfavorably. What causes me to react to this feeling of lack? What will cause, let's say, the Cancerian to lack the feeling of security? It is the constellation. Okay, so again, we have the endless light shining down, which is all fulfillment. There's no lack over there. But in between me and that fulfillment is what? A filtering system. What's the filtering system? Oh, that's your constellation. So your zodiac sign, our zodiac sign, is what really? It's a filtration system. According to the planets, according to the time you were born, according to the exact moment you took your first breath, etc., which is astrology. All those factors, the time of your birth, everything, all of it, are all a filtration system to filter out certain aspects of fulfillment and cause us to feel lack. We feel a lack here, we feel a lack there. A Gemini will feel a lack of, excitement. So they do new things constantly and like a butterfly. Why? Because I get bored easy. What's bored? Bored is a lack of energy. Comes from not going deeply into things. Because there's always a deeper level you can go into and get new levels of fulfillment. But a Gemini doesn't do that. He responds or reacts to his feeling of lack. And now I'm bored with this. Now I'll move on to that. Okay? So again, every constellation has its issue because it's reacting to a lack. The lack is being caused how? Why? By the filtration system called the constellations, astrology, and the zodiac. What causes it? Our prior lifetime and what we need in order to correct. So again, here we have, our prior lifetime, okay? Then we have our astrology, which is facilitating, and that's probably the perfect word, facilitating our life now and our karmic correction, which is linked to astrology, but astrology is not the source. Astrology is merely the filter system, the tool that facilitates the framework that we've been given. And by the way, we have a lot to do with it when we're in a soul level. Won't go into that. But we've almost chosen that voluntarily because we understand in this way, I can do my work. I can do my spiritual work and spiritually remove the lacks, overcome, be proactive instead of reactive to my lack. Because when we feel a lack, we have all kinds of emotional disruptions. We have anger. We have jealousy. We respond negatively. We get sad. We are unfulfilled. We're depressed. We have issues. Why? Because we do not understand why I'm blocked over here. Why am I not meeting the right person? Why can't I get happy? Why am I feeling depressed or tired all the time? Why? Well, everything in its seed level is spiritual, emotional, right? Nothing begins physical in the physical world. Not at all. Never. It's 99% energetic, and then it comes out in the physical in the 1%, as we would call it. So, again, remember, the order is the past life, the astrology, which sets into motion our karma in this lifetime. This is how all three are connected. What's the value of knowing this? Well, number one, don't focus on astrology, but do use it as a tool. Because, again, the wisdom of the Kabbalah is telling us that we do have the ability to rise above our nature. Now, nature is our sign. Nature is our zodiac. Because if we don't know how to rise above it, then, I'm sorry to say, we will be a slave to it. We don't want to be a slave to our astrology. Our astrology will always contain, which is the nature, good and bad. And that's what it's called, by the way. Being only influenced by our astrology means we are connected with the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Yeah, today is up, tomorrow's down. It's good, it's bad, and so on. Highs and lows in life. Murphy's Law. Some of you remember that. That's all part of nature and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Our goal and mission is to be connected with the tree of life. How do we do that? Well, we'll do that in an upcoming video. But it's all about overcoming. If you want to know more about that, I have some other videos about the tree of life and how we jump off the tree of knowledge, get onto the tree of life. Search in the videos. Unfortunately, I can't point to it here, there, because I don't know where it is. But be blessed. Remember, we have a new Scorpio channel for you Scorpios. It's Rabbi Abe Scorpio Channel. Go over there. Please subscribe. Help me with the algorithm. Like, subscribe, watch the videos, which you may have seen already. Let it run while you're cooking dinner, okay? So YouTube thinks at least you're watching it. They're good videos, and I want to get that channel up and running. So it's not only for Scorpios, but the focus is on the energy of Scorpio and people who are born under that sign. Be blessed, and I'll see you very soon on the next video. All the best.